The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi everyone, welcome to the webinar. We're on here at AbleSys, and we'll take a look at the latest signals and go over the charts. I'll answer your questions if you have any general questions that I can help you with. And we'll try and get through it because today was a rough day. Boy, day trading was tough. However, at the end of the day, as I mentioned last week and then again last Tuesday, the last half hour of the day has been the best trade of the day. 6 days in a row now have been terrific. Got a great trade. But you get days like this that happen every once in a while, but it's not fun. However, when the markets are just that inconsistent and that choppy, it's just nothing you can do about it. I don't care who you are, what indicators you're using, you just can't win. Nobody wins on a day like that. But luckily we did have the guidance chart. It kept us out of a lot of trading for the day, which was good. And I can also tell you that the dead zone sure is dead again. Between 12:30 and 2 o'clock Eastern time, it's just been really dead. And especially if you see, the morning was kind of dead and choppy and sideways like it was, you kind of have to figure it's probably going to be that way. Certainly, through the lunch hour, which is again 12:30 to 2 Eastern. So let's jump in and see, because the swing and end of day charts have been great using the AbleTrend signals. We've got TTW up here. I've been showing this one because we recommended this one a little over a month ago at 100, and we're at over 110 today. That's 10% in over a month. And if you trade an option, you get a call option on that one, then you really hit a home run there. So a lot of people like to trade options. And the daily, weekly guidance chart, which is exactly what this is, works really well for the longer term trading. Sometimes the intraday, it's a little wacky, like a day like today, although it's been good otherwise. Certainly in the past week or two has been good, but today was ugly. And luckily we did have a good trade at the end of the day, which has been every day. And I'm glad I mentioned that on Tuesday to definitely keep an eye on trading that last half hour. That's been a good trade every day. So long term is swing, and long term works great too. I mean, most people do a little bit of a mix of everything, and that's great. I mean, to be successful at day trading, you've got to be in front of it all day, every day, because you just don't know when the big trades are going to come. That's not a job you can do part time, and that's okay. Hey, your work comes first, or if you're busy, that's okay. We've got you covered, and you can just do swing or more of a position trade. And this is your position trade here, which has been a really great trade. I showed KBR. This was a new buy signal a couple days ago. It's up a little bit, like 10, 15 cents, but it's only a $23 stock, 23 and change. So still looking good. That's the most important thing. This is not for instant gratification like a day trading chart would be. This is more for longer term. We could be in this trade for a couple of months if as long as the software tells us to stay in it, meaning as long as it's above these blue dots, we'll stay in the trade. Stop loss would go right here, right around 22. We got in at 20, a tick over 20, a little over 23, and then basically slightly higher right now. But we'll see what happens. So far, looking good. And the new selections come out right about now, about 2 hours after the market closes. As far as all the new buy signals on the daily chart. Now, you still have to put them in the daily, weekly template, because just because the daily is a buy doesn't mean the weekly is. Like right here, this is a sell signal on the daily, but the weekly says, don't do it. There's a wall of support there. So that's obviously a no trade zone. Really good trade back here. 1st of April, that was a real nice trade right there. In at about 20, and then we'd be out over here at about 21.70. So that worked out. That worked out pretty well, especially if you're an option trader. Swing trade. Let's take a look at the Apple chart, because this one came up with a new buy signal yesterday, right around 183-ish, 183, 182.75. Let me see that. It's hard to read. No, 183. Yeah, that's what I thought. Really terrific sell signal. Or if you buy your puts, back over here about a month ago on this 2-hour daily combination works really well for swing trading. Nothing's going to be perfect. I guarantee you there'll be losing trades. That's for sure. Uh, Never want to mislead anyone, but obviously a lot more winners than losers, and otherwise we wouldn't be here. And we went short over here at 202, and out over here. Finally, a stop out right there. Previous higher red dot, which is right there at 177. So boy, you got a put option on that one. You killed them. And then we would go long here, like I said, right at 183. That came in yesterday morning. And we're at 184 and a half. So we're up $1.50. More importantly, I mean, you're probably going to be. I mean, this is something you more than likely would be trading options on because of the price, the high price. So again, the software works just as well for swing and position trading. We love the 2-hour daily combination for stocks. Oh, you're welcome, Debbie. And this is the mini NASDAQ chart today, which was just, this is Chop City here, pretty much all day till the end. It was just flat out ugly. And again, nobody can move the market. This is your 1, 2, 3 chart. And a day like today, just nobody wins. If there's no consistent move, and it just, starts to go up and then turns around, or starts to go down and then goes up, you just can't win. Nobody can win on a day like this. I hate when this happens. Boy, do I hate this, but can't do anything about it. We kind of have to take our lumps sometime, and every once in a while, and this is one of those days. So, hey, that's going to happen. Just luckily we did have a bunch of no trade zones, which kept us out of some of the trouble, like, no trade there, no trade there, no trade there. Here, here, and here. That was good because it kept. Otherwise, really would have taken a beating. But it wasn't fun. It stunk. Because we'd have been long over here. We'd have been long here. That one worked out good. That was actually one of the better ones. That was an 8-point winner from there to the stop loss. 1 point. If you're in profit like this one was, 1 point under the bottom of the lower of the 2 green bars. Well, that was okay. After a couple of losing trades because we'd have been short right there. Started to go down, but, we put the stop 1 point above the top of the red bar. So, we lost like 8 points on that trade. This trade here, I believe we lost about 7. And then there was a 5-pointer. That would be right here. This was 5. One of these was 5. Looks like 5 right there. Luckily we picked up 8 there, but it wasn't good. It stunk. Now the dead zone, which is from 12:30 to 2 Eastern, right in there. That was a great day to skip the dead zone. And anybody who did, it's optional. Anybody can do what they want. We just say it's optional during the dead zone. But I can just say, and all you can do is go on the recent activity, which has been really dead. Sideways, choppy. Hasn't been worth trading. Haven't been any good trades in the last week in what we call the dead zone from 12:30 to 2 that I have circled right over there. As you can see, that's just a choppy mess. Again, nobody can win in that. It's just a choppy mess. Finally, toward the end of the day, we did have that really good trade, as I've been saying. This is, I don't know why, but we'll take it. The last hour of the day, sometimes it comes an hour later. This came about 50 minutes before the end. Yesterday, I believe it was 10 minutes before the end. It was a super trade yesterday at the end of the day, but this one worked out well. I think this went for right around, right here is where we'd have been out, 2 green bar stop, and that went for about 20, 22 points, give or take a point. So that helped to clean up some of the earlier losses. And the hardest part is to stick with it, especially if you get beat up. But and that's been the best trade of the day, at least the last week. Might not happen tomorrow. Could be terrible tomorrow. Obviously nobody has a crystal ball into the future, but just going by the recent activity, which usually tends to hold up at least in the short term, that's been the best trade of the day toward that end of that day. And yesterday was the same thing, right in here. Yesterday started out really good. Actually, the morning was great. had some really nice winners in the morning. They got real choppy. And then again, we had the good trade at the end of the day, right about the last 12 minutes or so, right into the close. That was about a 12 point winner. So let's just keep going with it. I mean, again, it's not going to last forever. We know that, but that worked out well. So we'll just stay with it. Cheryl, can you trade stocks intraday? Yes, you can. The only problem with that, Cheryl, is that you have to put up a lot of money because you're trading shares. So you got to trade. So you got to put up a lot of money. You can trade options, but not a big option fan, only because you have that time decay, which the longer you stay in your option, the more money you lose. Even if it doesn't go, even if a stock stays flat, and you say you're at long a call, I mean, at the end of the day, you lost money. You go, well, how could that be? It stayed flat. Because options have time decay, and the longer you hold it, automatically a little bit of loss comes off on it. So you got to trade a lot of money in shares, and that's okay. That's fine if you want to do that. Generally speaking, the futures are the best way to go, and they've been really good up until today at 3:30 in the afternoon Eastern time. Up until a half hour before the close, they've been working. Today wasn't good, but I mean overall it's been really good. Anybody who has but the problem is you have to have. Not everybody can do it. Not everybody just has the ability to be very patient and wait for the triple confirmation trades and then to act on them, especially if a couple losses in a row. And believe me, I know that feeling. I totally know it. But you got to stick with it. And as hard as that is, you got to stick with it because for the past months and months, there's been one good trade a day. Some days there's been two. Rare occasions there's been three super trades, but it averages one good trade a day. And today there was one 8-point winner, and then you had the 22-point winner at the end. So that's 30 points there. It still didn't make up for the losses. So it was definitely one of those kind of days. Nothing we can do about that. Michael Z says he got some of that spike at 233. Oh, nice. Good job. Love when I hear anybody does well. I take it so serious. Okay, Michael got some of the spike right here. Nice job. That was a tough one to pick up. You got that big long spike, and we never want to get in we never want to get in there because 9 out of 10 times on a really big long bar, it pulls back. However, a good place or a good strategy to use is to just get in on a pullback. But the problem is we didn't have a sweet spot there. So, had a little trading savvy would have worked well, but good job on your part, Michael. That's a tough one to pick up. I give you props on that one. You deserve a shout out on that. Great job. Steve says he was scalping the ES all day. Good job, Steve. Yeah, ES was. I like the normally we like the NQ better because of the volatility, but the EX was actually better today. And of course, you don't know that before the day began. Otherwise, obviously, you'd always trade the best one that day. I wish we did. Wish we had a crystal ball. But the ES turned out as it turned out. Of course, after the fact, easy to say. The ES was a little smoother than the NQ today. So scalping the ES would have worked out well. Good job, Steve. David says wide bid-ask spreads too on the options. You're right. It's another thing. I'm just not a big personal preference. I like vanilla, and other people like chocolate. I mean, it's just personal preference. But the options, you got that big spread on the bid and ask. You got the time decay that as time goes on, you lose a little bit of money. You just got to really nail those out. You got to pick out a strike price. You got to nail it really just right for options. And if you're good at it, and there's definitely money can be made because you don't have to put up that much money. And if you kind of get a little lucky and you get in just at the time when it spikes, if you get in right before the spike, you can make a lot of money. But it's just, it's just kind of tough to do. But again, just strictly personal preference. Absolutely no right or wrong answer to that. Just whatever you like. So that's about it. I think we covered we covered the buys, the sells, the stops. Nothing is more important to a new trial client than a one-on-one trading session, which I can show you more and teach you more and answer your questions to whatever charts you like to trade, nothing's better than the one-on-one trading session, and everybody gets that on a trial. Who's on a trial, I'll gladly do that for you. You definitely want to take advantage of it, because if you don't, you really don't get your money's worth out of the trial. And that's really the only people that, that might not continue on, because if you do the one-on-one trading session and you do it, near the beginning of your trial, now you'll have a couple of weeks at the least you'll be knowing the right way to do it from the beginning, or at least the suggested way to do it from the beginning. Trying to figure out, I know myself, trying to figure out something on my own, something new, it takes too long, or it just takes a while, and it can be sometimes frustrating. So I'll gladly do that for anybody, anytime. And thanks everybody for hanging in there and for being with us. As you know by now, I'm here to help anytime you like. Have a good night, everyone.